Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill,
and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWit.
Hi.
Welcome to our show today. In this episode, Jill and I talk about the deals we're doing this week. And it's a lot. It's more than 200 deals. I looked at it just a few minutes ago. Before we get into it, though, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the Land Investors online community. It's free.
Cool. All right. Trevor, share. Oh, this is actually good.
Trevor is just, he should be a comedian.
This is actually a story, more than a question, and I just had to put it in here because I was rolling when I saw this. So, all right. Here's what he wrote. Well, I was buying 5 acres in Arizona this Saturday. The only time the owner could meet the notary was 8 o'clock p.m. California time. I got a call from the notary in a panic. She said that the owner had just got another offer for $250 more than I offered. Damn old lady shook me down. I was going to call her bluff, but with enough already in with the notary, etc., I asked if she was going to actually uphold her end of the transaction, and she flat out told me $250 is $250.
Uh-huh.
All I could think of was a Dumb and Dumber quote about getting ripped off by a little old lady in a motorized cart, but I didn't. So the notary went and got her own $250.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about nice.
Wow.
And gave it to the
That's California.
renegotiating mean lady, and now I have to send her another payment. So the funny thing is, this was from my first mailer, and she had called me multiple times to sell it.
Yeah.
Now she was laughing at her good luck. Yeah, real estate. Hope everyone can laugh at this and realize that it is all okay. You're going to have some crazy stuff come up.
Yep. Welcome
to business. It is still much better than having a bank back out on you on a large apartment deal. Been there and done that.
Boy, you said it. If you remove the lender from all of this, you're way, way ahead of the game. So here's the deal. I'm going to up the story. Jill and I sold a bunch of properties, like 1,000 properties, to a guy who used to be on our A list.
Yes.
And we negotiated the deal. It went to title, the whole thing. And 5 minutes before it was supposed to close,
wiring money.
I get an email from the guy with a number in it. So we agreed to sell a property for $500 a property. 1,000 properties, all right, $500,000. And I get an email that says 400. So, needless to say, I was not a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah.
When that happened, and I blew my top, and the guy, I'm not even on speaking terms with the guy anymore. We did ended up closing the deal, and he got his way that time. But
I don't do anything with him.
I don't do business that way, and he's lost. He's contacted me 100 times after that, trying to buy more property, and I refuse to sell him.
Right.
I refuse to take his call. I don't do stuff that way.
That brings
there's
up
a
good
reason.
point.
If there's a reason, like, geez, I just don't. Just be. Your word really matters. This is a small town, this land investing community we're in. There's probably a couple thousand, maybe 2,000-3,000 people in the country that really know what they're doing. Max. Probably less. You get to know, everybody gets to know each other.
You do, and I don't want this to be a complaining session. However, I've had that in a lot of different areas in our business. And Jack and I are always upfront and and
transparent.
Man, if I promised you something and even if it's a mistake on my part, you know what? I did. I'm going to follow through, and it really drives me batty when people don't do the same with us.
Yeah.
And hey, if you come to me and there's something legitimate, we need to rework something, oh, okay, great. But if you try to pull a fast one on me, then you're not my friend.
Right.
I don't like that. I just don't do it. So there's plenty of good people out there. I'd rather work with them.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's they weed themselves out. And honestly, Trevor, I would have done the same situation as you. Chances are you're probably buying the property for $500 or so, and so $750, it's okay.
Right.
And you wouldn't be buying it if you didn't think you're going to make a lot of $5,000, $10,000 on it.
Exactly.
So
that's just so funny.
It's fine.
I love it. And you're right, it's going to happen. That's a good point too. If any business you go into, it's not going to be all rosy and peachy and perfect. We love to think it is, but I mean, I don't care what you're selling. One of your customers are going to come back and say, you know, I thought it was going to be a brighter blue, not a dark blue. You know, you're going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So, and that's just doing business, like Trevor said.
Here's the good news. You know, Jill and I own Land Investors, and it's a membership-based group, and we all do deals together. And about once every 6 months, we get some rogue weirdo who joins us, and he's super high maintenance, and he calls Jill a negative name or something, and then I get to be Detroit Steve. And I get to address that the way of somebody from Detroit addresses stuff when the spouses get called. And so we have a lot of control over who's in our group. And I've made exactly 3 phone calls like that since we started this group. So sometimes you can get in a situation where you can really control it.
Right.
Are we ever really out of control here? No. We're in control of these real estate deals. As a buyer.
Thank you.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either one of us on landinvestors.com.
Hey, before we go on to the topic here, we're sitting in the car. You might hear waves in the background. So we have this beautiful view, and there's people here sitting next to us. And I'm like, why are they still sitting here watching us?
Are they watching us?
I don't know. These 2 gentlemen are just kind of sitting here waiting to see what we're doing. We have our headsets on, we're talking, and they're just like...
This is Los Angeles, so
I know. I'm like,
this stuff goes on all the time.
Like,
I walked into a movie set a couple weeks ago on accident. Like, not indoors, but where they were shooting.
Oh, like
on the beach.
Oh,
you know,
you
on the
actually
end of the beach.
You were like totally just like walk through this.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't like walk right through it, but I would have if I was like, you know, less paying attention.
You were an unpaid extra. That's really
exactly.
what you were.
Exactly. You know, I have a buddy in New York, and he grew up there, and he said, you know, a lot of things get shot in the streets of New York, and it's just. With the city going on in the background, and some people wreck it for everybody by gawking. You know, he said, really early as a young person in New York, you learn early that you just walk right through and forget it, not stand there staring at the camera.
Right.
Seeing what star you can see.
Right.
Today's topic: these are the deals we're doing this week. Jill, go.
Well, but the one I'm working on the most right now is this big 168 combined parcels in
Southern Arizona.
Thank you. I wasn't sure what I was going to share here. So,
you're essentially buying an RV park.
Right. That's what's taking up the most of my time, right? It's really not taking up much time because I'm doing it through title with an escrow agent, but I'm just making sure everything's spelled out perfectly. So, and it's easy. These are nice too. I like it when these are some of my favorites. When I negotiate with the owner, you know, a wonderful transaction. Everybody's happy. He's got his own little escrow company down the street that he loves. He works with. Hey, call Susie over here. Great. I just call Susie. Make sure she has all my information, and we're going to close real quick, and everybody's happy.
You know, we're buying this for 200 and something a spot. So think of the terms of that, and then we'll sell them for probably
at least 1,000.
50, at least 1,000, probably closer to 5, and then on terms for more. So the down payment that we receive will pretty much cover the acquisition. So it's an amazing deal, but we don't do any deals that aren't amazing.
Right.
So we'll clear $250,000 of the deal in like 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, not 2 to 3 months.
Right. Which, do you want to even share too? Let's share how this came to us because I want people to know.
Yeah, sure.
This is from one of our members. One of our people in our group had a deal review with Jack, and it was a rather large transaction that they, I don't know if they weren't ready for it or didn't have but just worked out that, hey, you want our, I think they were asking you.
It was too much money. They didn't want to bite that much off. That much off. So we split it.
Yeah, we're like, all right, well, sure. So then it was great. I got involved and negotiated him way different price than what the starting sales price was.
That's awesome, Jill.
And
I mean, it's less than half.
Thank you. So, and it's wonderful.
It's a smoking deal.
It's going to be great. Everybody's going to win on this one.
Yep.
So we really do deals with our people.
Here's what I love about these multi-unit deals. It's all in one subdivision. So we essentially have to really do an HTML description and all the engineering for one property and then adjust it for 167 other ones. So if you buy 168 properties that are in different states, in different places, in different subdivisions, you got to do. It's a lot of work. This is, man. I mean, this is all juice. You just do it once and copy it. Not copy it, but you got to change it a little bit.
Right.
And then inevitably, you find out that somebody's going to somebody on our A-list is going to stumble on it, and they're going to say, you know what, I'll take it all for $900.
Right.
And then you're done.
Exactly.
So that's what has happened on every single deal.
$900 each or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what else do you
We're doing a
want to
bunch
share?
of 40-acre transactions in northern Arizona, and I love them. We basically buy them for $3,000 or $4,000 and sell them for anywhere between 12 and 20 cash.
2 of them I got less.
Yeah.
It was
Way
3,000 combined.
Exactly. And then we're doing a ton of houses. We wholesale. We buy houses for a flipper. So the guy that with the tools, and he cleans them all up. We just mark them up 10 grand, send a bunch of mailers out. He goes out and sees them. He says, "Yep, I want it," and we mark them up 10 grand, and we do those all the time. And then my personal favorite, we're doing some real high end, right out of Los Angeles ranches for like movie star type ranches.
Yeah.
And with a equity partner. And man, talk about printing money. We don't do a deal unless we make 100 grand on it, and we don't do a deal unless it's sold before we buy it. We've got this figured out.
I know.
It puts a smile on my face just to say that stuff.
Isn't that funny? It's like for you and I, it's second nature. And people, like we were just at that party this last weekend, and we're just talking. The way we talk, people are like, "This can't be right."
Yeah, they just don't believe
They're
us.
like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, no, really. It's really not that. It's not crazy. We've been doing, and it's second nature to us.
Yeah.
And people still can't wrap their heads around it all the time. But yeah, why would you put your neck out there? You need to know what you're getting into and have a buyer lined up, and then it's easy.
It always leads me. This party's perfect. Thank you. I'm glad you brought it up. So everybody said. It leads me to start asking questions like, well, why don't you send out a bunch of letters to everybody who owns a house around here,
Right.
and price it all out. Make sure it's at least you can get $100,000 more overnight. Why don't you do that? Well, I don't know how. What do you mean you don't know how? So this is what it prompted me to do.
Right.
Launch. We will launch. I'll do it this weekend. We will launch a component of offers2owners.com, the number 2, where we will do a mailer for you. So you type it in, you get us an address. We'll do the rest for houses.
Exactly.
Or get us the name of a subdivision. Let's say I always use Anthem in North Phoenix as an example because it's a perfect master plan community and you can buy property real cheap there. Let's say you don't want to mess with a mailer. You're too busy.
Right.
You have a job.
Right.
Send us a note that says we would like to send a mailer to every house in Anthem for $82 a square foot. And check out here, and we have a whole team. Jill is setting up a team this week to do that.
Exactly.
And I think it's going to cost $2 an offer.
Right.
Or you can do it like our members who are incredibly intelligent. Get part of get a subscription, and send it out. It costs you 50 cents an offer then.
Exactly.
49 cents plus the data. So whether this is all being set up for people who are not pros at it
Right.
and don't want to make it a career. The people in our group, it's a career thing. I'm excited.
I am also. Totally. Yep.
That covers it, I think.
I think
I mean, there's like 300 or 400
Those
properties in the system that are in
residential ones.
some point of being reviewed.
I know.
Those are the ones that I can, right off the top of my head, I get excited about.
That we're working on. Exactly. Very cool stuff.
What are some deals that you recently turned down? There's a few that I have.
There's, you know what? There's a lot of one-offs that are just too small. That they're from mailers still from years ago. I turn those down a lot, and I feel bad because I hate to say no. They're almost like, "Are you sure? Really?" They almost want to give it away. I'm like, you get to this point where we are in our careers, in our business, where it's just not worth my time. Unless I'm going to make a lot of money, I'm just going to pass.
When we open up the gold level member, we won't, because everybody's at a different point in their career. When we open up the gold level membership, we will make those opportunities available.
Right.
We'll put the contact information in there, and the first person who's in a member, that grabs it.
of people
They
are
can
doing
have a
that.
deal.
Well, we started that.
Right.
We started doing that a while back, and then I got too busy even to do that,
Right.
But our members are already doing that with each other. And
Yeah, I
love
saw that on
They,
Deal Board,
they
right?
use we have a back-end communication for the people in our group, and they share deals all the time. And
It's called
I've
Deal?
even seen people that said, "Hey, I need some cash. Something came up.
Yep.
Does anybody here want to buy these?" And they're totally helping each other.
Every
It's
single time I
fantastic.
respond to that, because I'll bail anybody out on that stuff if the price is right. And I've never been able to do a deal because someone else got there
Grabs
first.
it. I know they do.
And that just tells me that the system's working.
Exactly. Here, all I see is quick, slow. Yeah, here's my number. Call me. Like, oh, okay, good for you guys.
I have a confession to make about acquisitions. I was involved in a deal until recently that I politely backed out of because the guy that I was doing it with is an ass.
Oh.
And I don't do ass anymore.
Oh.
And if the seller even just looks at sideways, I kill it. So that's a gauge for me.
Yeah.
You handle that so much better than I do.
But I have got a little bit. I'm with you though. If we got to talk about it this much, now
Yeah.
it's because there's, and this is the thing I'm often explaining to people that are new in this world. Just wait. Don't get married to one deal. Don't hang on to every deal.
Yeah.
If you do this right, you will be able to pick and choose also. And you'll be able to take the easy ones, the ones you want, the good people that don't want to talk your ear off.
Yeah.
And you can just take the cream off the top and move on.
Now that we're using Joe Live, we started about a month ago to answer our phones. Boy, what a difference. Even because we were using our own receptionist for that, and that person has since moved on to bigger and better things within our organization. But what Joe Live, to have somebody answer, a trained person that was scripted to answer your phone, it allows you to get a little bit more bold in the type of letters offers that you send out, because no one's yelling at you anymore.
Exactly.
It's just it's beautiful to get an email from an unrelated third party that says, call these 19 people back, they all want to do the deal. Never mind 900 people called back to yell at you.
Right. Well, even that, it's even detailed. They'll have all the. I can sit and look at the deals right there. It's not just here's this person's name and number. Here's the deal. Here's the parcel. Here's what your offer price was. Here's what they're looking for. Here's how quickly they want to close. Dream it up. You can be that specific, which is
This is
huge
full blown
time saver.
Jill's idea, and I have to admit I fought it in the beginning, and now I'm like, man, this is awesome.
Thanks.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information. That's me.
And inspiration, that's me.
To get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. You make me proud, you know that?
Thank
The
you.
Jill Live thing rocks.
Thank you.
One little thing after another, we're removing all the stuff out of the stuff out of our world.
Exactly. Making everything easier.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and
This was the Cash Flow from Land Show. We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land,
for half price, just so we can flip it for way more.
and really fast. Thanks for listening. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.